Hey YouTube. Alright, so today, obviously, not beer, something in here. This is called the Beer Bug. This is a Wi-Fi specific gravity meter, and a little bit more actually. As you can see, I have a 5-gallon carboy sitting right here, just full of some tap water. Nothing we've seen differently before. My fermentometer over here. The only thing that's different is this sucker up here. So basically the Beer Bug is a Wi-Fi enabled specific gravity and temperature reader that is going to sync data to the cloud and help you track your brews. So everything else is kind of the same. You'll notice if you look inside that there's some fishing line hooked up going down to this weight. Alright? And that weight, it's calibrated in such a way that when you immerse it into a fluid, in this case water, just like you would on a scale, you can use the tare function to Z it out. So when you first put this into a brew, you Z it out, you tare it, and of course it's water, so I put my tare, so the original gravity of my tap water is 1.000 with some slight variations here and there, but we just use, 1.00 as our standard. And then this guy is going to, in near real time, basically track it. So it's set right now to every 20 minutes, blasts up to the cloud, temperature and specific gravity readings. Now what's neat about this guy is it does two things. Now I got this, there's a promotion on the Beer Bug's website right now to where there's this probe thermometer. And for my setup right now, I have it taped to the side of the carboy. Because I'm going to do it in conjunction with this bad boy right here and see how sensitive it is. But if you have the ability, you can actually take that probe thermometer if you had a wider setup here, maybe something like a Big Mouth Bubbler or something like that from Northern Brewer, where it has two bungs. You could actually immerse this into your wort to get much clearer temperature readings. But if you don't, not a big deal. It's actually, if I didn't have this probe thermometer over here, what it's going to do is actually measure the temperature of the blow off, the exhaust gas, not exhaust gas, but the carbon dioxide being let off of the beer. And then, so basically, yep, so all that beer and everything, the carbon dioxide is going to come out through here, and then it vents out through this tube over here to the right, and this is where we put our airlock. All right, so it's pretty neat. As you can see right now, it's just water. Again, I've been running it for about 30 minutes or so, just kind of doing a basic run-through test. And I actually have it hooked up to power, but you don't need to have it hooked up to power. I'm just trying to get the battery to charge while I'm doing this, kind of simultaneously. But apparently they claim once the battery's at 100%, you can leave this sucker go, and at 20-minute reporting intervals, it can last up to about 28 days, which is pretty sufficient for our brew projects. So let's go over to the dashboard on my computer, and I'll show you exactly how we kept my computer. And this is the logon page for the Beer Bug. All right, let me kind of sit back a little bit. All right, now when you log onto this, you'll see one thing different. I paid for there's $8.99 for every 3 months. You pay for some advanced features with data. I thought that was really cool, and it's just less than $10 for 3 months. Why the hell not? But essentially everything else you're going to see is the same. So you have the ability to put in some information here if you'd like, your beer bugs and what it's doing. So obviously this beer bug is testing right now, and then what's going on. So this is my water test, my original gravity and my current gravity. So you see it's really accurate. It's picking up even there's maybe some sort of particulate matter in the water, maybe I have harder water or something like that, and those dissolved particles are going to raise my gravity rating. Yeah, so you can see it's picked up to the 1,000th of a degree, which is nice, and still there's no alcohol, so pretty cool. So we can actually go into water test here. All right, and so then this is the specific beer. So if I was brewing a beer, I could actually, I'd plug in right here my original gravity. It would be real timing my current gravity and my ABV. So it's just nice because you can use this tool rather than having to rely on taking samples all the way. Now, I don't know the discrepancies between the readings. From everything I've heard, these guys are pretty good. Their stuff is really calibrated. So if you do your initial gravity reading with something like a refractometer, which is, I mean, the refractometer is going to give you a super, super specific and accurate reading on your gravity. As long as you're very careful with your initial, you can get pretty good results. And again, we're homebrewing, so, me personally, I'm willing to accept just a little variation here. But as long as the sensors are calibrated properly, you don't really see a big issue. So, yeah, if you go down, some other options. Right now I selected, this is just a private brew, but I can uncheck that and it would actually publish brews to the cloud, and you can actually look up everyone else's stuff. Showing probe data, this just means I'm going to use the thermometer probe. I can calibrate it right now, tear it out. I can set offsets on my temperature probe if I needed to. Get some instant data, how many display points I want to see. Let's say all points. Let's see what that does. Display. Okay. My advanced features do a little bit of extra stuff for me. My average temperature is calculated for me with the minimum and maximum temperatures. That's nice because you can kind of see your variance and where you're holding. My network, that's just my SSID. It's not a big deal. Wi-Fi strength, it's amazing, great. In the version. If we go down here, this is where it starts to go. So you can see that it's actually every 20 minutes is sending some information. Now, obviously at the beginning I have more points, and that's because as I'm tearing and everything like that, it's a new bit of data that's popping up. So yeah, definitely neat. But you can get in there hyper specific, and I can actually hold over points, and you can see that the fourth at 16-14 hours, my specific gravity was 1,007. Okay, so it's measuring out pretty far, so the tenths, hundred thousandths, and then 10 thousandths of a degree of variation. And that's why we're getting our initial read of 0.1, but it's kind of stabilized right here. Temperature, okay, again, so you see that the Pro right now is reading us at 67.3. And then how it calculates the average is right there. It's calculating the average based off of all of the points of the metric, which is nice. And our current ABV, estimated ABV, so of course it's going to be steady at 0 because we're using water here. The reason, again, so these graphs you're going to get all the time. With advanced features, the really cool thing was this the CSV file. So when you download it, it's an Excel file. Let's go over here to Excel, and we'll go through. So it's going to pull each data point over here by date. Now you'll see it says 2100, so that's 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. That's Zulu time, so that's GMT time. I'm East Coast, so obviously it's 4:30 in the afternoon right now. So the next probe will be at 9:30, somewhere down here, right? You should expect to see. And you're seeing that it's calculating the specific gravity, your Plato, alcohol content, ambient temperature in centigrade, ambient temperature in Fahrenheit, the probe temperature in centigrade, the probe temperature in Fahrenheit, the voltage of the battery at the time, and the percentage of the battery, and the progress. Progress just means that it's going to stay 0 here because my initial gravity of my brew. So when you do your recipes, right, and whenever you configure a new brew in the BeerBug app or online on the portal, you're going to be asked to put in your reading for your original gravity and your target gravity. You can set a target gravity. So if my original is 0.105 and my target is 1.01, then it's going to show you in percentages how close you are to hitting your final gravity mark, which is kind of cool. Just a quick way to look at it, just to see everything else. And then the ambient temperature versus the probe temperature. Ambient is, again, remember, there's a built-in sensor that is that's measuring the air coming in and out, and then there's a probe temperature. And so just by looking at your ambient versus your probe, there is a big difference. That's because that probe is on my system anyway right now, it's taped to the carboy, so it's going to get a reading more indicative of the temperature of the carboy itself. Now if it was actually in the wort, then it would get a temperature indicative of the wort itself. So that's good because you can really hone in on some stuff. So again, here I'll just show you. I just hit download CSV, popped it up. I'm gonna open it up. All right, and so now you can see that you got a lot more data. Right, this is the latest one. And here, let me just expand out my date. All right, there you go. So you can see what I'm saying. Tons of data coming in here, and that's just cool. I don't care what it says. Let's see what the XML file gives us. I haven't done that yet. Yep. All right, and so this is the XML file that's getting sent out to if you care, if you're a nerd and you like reading about that kind of stuff. But it's the same exact thing, but you could potentially, if you were a coder or something like that, you could pop that XML data into your web portal and you can track all your stuff. Blah blah blah. Not important. But yeah, so that is the Beerbug. So really excited I got this. I plan on using the heck out of this sucker because it's worth it. I got it from online. It was $149 again with the promotion. Usually these suckers go for about $200. They're on sale right now. They're kind of relaunching their site and everything. So for the $149, I got the Beerbug itself and the external temperature probe, which is usually not bundled together, but I got it together. So awesome. So yeah, I'm going to. Actually, today is the day that I'm racking my gluten-free beer into secondary, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start basically using the Beerbug while it's in secondary. So yeah, definitely excited about that. Look forward to seeing how this little tool works, and hopefully we'll get some good results. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.